Hello everyone, QC Comics back here with what else? Another action figure unboxing video. And today, I always say I'm excited, but today I am particularly excited because Boba Fett is by far my favorite Star Wars character, and Return of the Jedi is by far my favorite Star Wars film. So this is just a match made in heaven for me. I've been looking for it for weeks. Today I was at Walmart. I looked, of course there's nothing at Walmart. Couldn't find it anywhere. And then my wife said, "Oh, did you look on the pallet?" as we're walking by. And I kind of glanced. I was like, "Oh, nothing Hasbro there." And then I see the cart. And I see the side image of the box, Boba Fett staring at me from the side of the cart. And this was something they were going to stock. They'd put all this, they'd unbox things, put it in the cart, and then they were going to wheel it down and stock it. And I don't know how I got so lucky because the other 5 were in the bottom right-hand side of the cart, buried. I never would have seen them. There was one that was loose. Maybe it was the last one she took out of the box, and it was sitting just right in my eyesight, right as I'm about to turn the corner and leave to the front of the store. So I got incredibly lucky. I was so happy. My wife said she wishes she would have got my reaction because I looked so excited to see this. But anyway, this is the Deluxe Boba Fett Black Series figure. So it's a bit of a bigger, kind of a bulkier box. Of course, you got the name there, and then the movie title, Return of the Jedi. Of course, on the side, you get this fantastic artwork. You've got the green there for the Return of the Jedi movie line here. And this is what I saw staring at me, and it's so great. I'm gushing over Boba Fett because he's really what got me into being a huge Star Wars fan. So, of course, on the back, you have that same fantastic artwork. Over here, you've got all your description of Boba Fett. But come on, we all know Boba Fett, right? And then on the side, nothing here really. Just your logo at the bottom there. And then, of course, you've got just all your legal things at the bottom. And then you just got a little window top there. So let's get right into it. And I say this so much, I know that it hurts my feelings to just tear apart a box. This one really does. This one really does hurt my feelings. So you know what? We're going to attack from the bottom here. Less tape. Oops, sorry. Bumped the camera. Less tape, and maybe I can just hold on to this box for just a little bit. I don't know if I will. Sometimes I hang on to the boxes for like an extra day, just so I don't feel like I just tossed them. I do appreciate the work they put into these. All right, got a clear case there. And there is a lot to unpack here. Oh man, where to start? Okay, first off, we'll start with his E3 blaster. And it's got kind of a rusted brown look to it. Almost looks like kind of like a dirty bronze. So it's a little different than the Empire Strikes Back version. I do like it though. It does look like a weapon, because he's kind of made famous by his stuff on Tatooine. So this really does have an old Western kind of vibe to it. I mean, really, if you cut it off there, I mean, it looks like a 6-shooter pistol or even like a big flare gun. But yeah, it's a really unique weapon for Boba Fett. It's one of the reasons I really liked him was his weaponry and the different things that he has. And I mean, I know people say he was all style over substance back in the original films. So thankfully, he's been fleshed out now with the stuff in The Mandalorian, and we've got to really see him in action, which is nice. This one here, of course, you have the blaster that is cut in half by good old Luke Skywalker. And in the film, it's just kind of a clean slice with a little bit of, there's a little bit of kind of heat effect to it as the Luke's green lightsaber cut through it. This does go together too, so you can kind of have it, and then, well, mine's not exactly lining up exactly. But, yeah. Pretty cool. It's a nice addition. It's a cool little feature that they've got with this. Just kind of a weird, kind of slimy neon green. I don't know if I really care for that all that much. Oh, that looks like it pressed together a little better. So, I don't know if I'll have... I mean, I might try and get one shot with Luke slicing it, and then this will probably just go in a drawer. But I do appreciate the effort on a different and unique accessory to a Black Series figure. And we're gonna go straight for his jetpack next. I know a lot of people in the reviews have talked about this, and I wasn't exactly sure myself about the color scheme on this. You know, as a kid, I never really realized that it is a blue color to the sides of this. I always just assumed it was all green. It is blue, but this is a little too yellow. It almost, I don't know what they were thinking with that, but it's not a huge deal. It's this jetpack. Yeah. I mean, it's nice that they have the missile here, which is obviously I just popped in, so that is detachable. I'll probably just have that on display at all times. I'm not quite to the level of photography master where I can make an effect of that thing rocketing out, but it is nice. Yeah, just the one downside is that kind of yellow. Everything else, you know, you've got a nice weathered look to everything. It really does look like this thing has taken some bumps and scrapes, and they did a really good job with the paint application. Just that one, you know, and everybody's kind of hit that, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. But of course, then you have these here, the actual boosters to the jetpack, which do swivel, so you can get those at all sorts of different angles. And then in here, you have, of course, the effects for that. So you can pop those right in. Just give it a little squeeze, yep. And there you go. And this is really, I mean, a part of the real big draw for me in this particular figure. I mean, I wanted it. It could have just been Boba Fett on its own. I still would have wanted it. But this is really cool. I like this. It's going to look great on the shelf. I'm going to put Boba Fett in just kind of a translucent stand. And he's going to have this thing rocketing at all times. So I'm really excited about that. And then, of course, for his flamethrower, get a nice flame effect. And that looks really good. I like it a lot. In some other people's photos and reviews, it really gets a nice red to it. This almost just kind of goes yellow to not a ton of red, just a lot of orange, but it looks great. Of course, this, you know, anytime it comes with this translucent plastic, Hasbro does a nice job. These always look pretty darn good, and I'm really happy with this. And then the last accessory, I'm not sure if I can get it out without taking out Boba. Yeah, it's clipped to his arm, so we'll have to pop him out. He's got this little grappling hook here. Kind of, I don't know if you want to, I mean, you could kind of use that as like when he wrapped up Luke outside of Jabba's sail barge. You know, I don't know if that's going to have the same kind of look in photography, but again, it's just a cool accessory to have. It's just a little clip that goes onto his wrist, and then this shoots out, and then you have the tip of the grappling hook there. And that's just a nice silver paint on that. So I'm happy with it. I'm not complaining. I don't think I'll ever use it, kind of like that cut blaster. But anyway, here's the man of the hour. And as some people have said, yeah, that packaging is really tight around the head, and it really narrows his helmet here. I've seen other people use just kind of heat in different ways to pop that helmet out, which I definitely will do after this video. Because it should be wider at the bottom, or at the very least, it should go straight down. But that really goes inward because of the packaging, which is unfortunate. But, you know, mistakes happen. Hopefully they'll learn from this, and on the next round of packaging, they won't have it so tight, especially on a character where there's a head in there. I don't know if you can see now, but so you get a little extra room between the head and the outside of the helmet, and this, with the packaging, scrunched it in, and yeah, well, you're left with that. But the viewfinder, or the rangefinder here does go up and down, so that's really cool. I like that. I always like that pops down. It's a good look, especially from the side. I like that a lot. So definitely happy about that. Of course, the head will go all the way around, goes down really far, goes back just about straight up, but I have seen other people say that if you rotate the actual neck itself back around, then you can have it bend back really far and then not so far forward. So you can play with it a bit. You can get it to go whichever way you want. The chest plate here looks amazing. This is just like a little sticker put on there. It's beautiful. Of course, you got the wear and tear that you'd expect. The Mando symbol there of the mythosaur looks really clean. Again, the dings here. These kind of look more like, you know, paint kind of just plopped on than necessarily scrapes. But that's real nitpicky. From a distance, you're never going to notice that. Same on this side, but looks really good. Of course, you got his Wookie braids here. Happy to have those. That's missing from the new Boba Fett. Doesn't have those Wookie braids. These do bend upwards a bit, the shoulder pads, so you can still get a pretty good, you can get arm range going up, which is nice. That doesn't hinder your ability to move that around. The belt is, oh, I dropped something. The belt does move in position, so that's not going to get in your way either. Then, of course, you got his flamethrower gauntlet here. And let's bend it. Yep. Bends up pretty good. That doesn't really obstruct your movement. And, of course, there shouldn't be any issue on this side. Nothing really blocking there. Arm goes up pretty far. Got his rocket there. That wrist gauntlet looks really good. That's another thing. With the Empire Strikes Back, these are green. I prefer this kind of maroon, kind of real deep red. I like that look a lot for the gauntlets anyhow. And that about covers the top there. Pretty good detail on the back. The bags look nice. They've got nice pattern to them. This all looks good. Paint's applied really cleanly. The cape is kind of a soft rubber, which I don't mind. The Empire Strikes Back version did have that cloth cape, but this is fine. It moves pretty good. It's not just going to be real stiff like some characters' capes are, where they don't move at all. And from what I can feel from the movement on them, it feels not too stiff, not too loose. Everything's really good. And without going too long on this video, I'll just kind of quickly do the bottom here, because there's not a ton to look at. Again, you know, you've got that kind of silver paint applied there to mimic some dings and scrapes. The pants have nice patterning to them. Of course, he's got his famous dent there. More famous than this dent, some might say. And you've got the knee pads here with his knee rockets. Those are painted silver, so those look really good. And the only thing that's kind of missing is the silver paint on the tips here. He had silver on the tips of the shoes, which is kind of missing. It's all just kind of one color. But that's really not a big deal. That's just real minor. Overall, great looking figure, apart from the little snafu with the helmet, which is kind of a bummer that it's squished in like that, but I'm going to go put a little heat on it, squish it out. It shouldn't be too hard of a fix. I've seen some other people do it. And yeah, I mean, that's really my only complaint. I've seen some other people with little more nitpickiness to it, and I'm probably biased because I love Boba so much, and I love this version of Boba so much, that the little things don't really bother me all that much, and there's so much going on with this figure that you can kind of look past that. I mean, there's other figures where they're just, everything's kind of, you know, a couple little details here, there, and not a lot going on. Boba is such an intricate design, and there's so much work that goes into making this look this good that none of that other little stuff really bothers me. And I do, before I forget, I love that tattered look there at the bottom. Looks really cool, just kind of hanging down and draping behind him. So yeah, that is The Empire Strikes Back. What? The Empire Strikes Back? I'm over here thinking about the other Boba Fett. This is the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. And I gotta say, I love it. So there we have it. The unboxing / review of the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett deluxe figure, coming in at $29.99 if you're buying retail. Hopefully you can find it retail if it's a figure you're still looking for. It is fantastic. Apart from just some minor things, like the yellow on the back, the helmet being kind of squished in, which ended up not being that big of a deal. I did kind of pinch it out on the sides without applying any heat. So it still needs to be kind of puffed out a bit on the bottom, but it's a minor inconvenience. I'll fix it up, not a big deal. And I'm really happy with the figure. I love all of the effects, especially, obviously, the flame effects. But even the blaster that's cut, the grappling hook, is all fantastic stuff to get with a figure like this. And I gotta say, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I know some people would say, hey, the flaws and different things might, it's only a 8 or whatever for them. And that's fine. For me, I'm biased. It's my favorite character from my favorite film, not just of Star Wars, but just in general. And I was so excited to see it. I can't remember the last time I got that excited to see a figure that I wanted, and just how fast I grabbed it. I was just so happy to get the figure. So it was always going to be a 10 out of 10 for me. Take that as you will. And yeah, hopefully you can find it. I definitely recommend it. It is my highest recommendation. It's a fantastic figure. Thank you so much for watching. A little bit of a longer one. It was a deluxe figure, so it took me a little bit longer to go through than most Black Series figures. But if you liked the video, give it a like, or comment, or share, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I do these for fun, and if you found yourself here watching this review, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Makes me feel good that someone's enjoying my ramblings on YouTube. So anyway, we'll see you next time with the next action figure unboxing video. This is QC Comics. Excuse me. I'm giddy over this figure. I almost said QT Comics. That's thinking highly of myself. This is QC Comics, and we'll see you next time. Later.